Hey, it's your boy the Crypto Goon, and shout out to all my crypto goons for pulling up once again. The Trump administration, according to Russia, has come up with a plan to pretty much pump and dump the crypto market by way of using stable coins to get rid of all 37 or 35 trillion dollars of the US national debt. Now, what he's saying actually makes sense if you actually look at the Genius Act in addition to what is being done when stable coins are purchased. Now let's watch this video real quick and we're gonna react to it. This video was actually translated because it's in Russian. So they translated the video so it'll be easy for you to understand what he's saying. And I'm gonna actually show you and kind of give you a bird's eye view of what they're doing. And it's actually pretty gangster.
Right now, America is trying to change the rules in the gold and cryptocurrency markets. Remember how much debt they have, $35 trillion. Essentially, these are two alternative segments to the global currency market. Washington's actions in this direction clearly demonstrate one of America's main objectives. They are very eager to solve the problem of declining trust in the dollar. The US, just as it did in the 1930s and 1970s, will solve its financial problems at the expense of the entire world, driving everyone where? Into the cryptocurrency cloud. Over time, when part of the US national debt is placed in stablecoins, the US will devalue that debt. Once again, in simple terms, right now they have a $35 trillion currency debt. They move it into crypto, into the cloud, devalue it, and start from scratch. This is for those who really love dealing with crypto.
Okay, so let me kind of break down to you what exactly he's saying, okay? In order to do so, you have to understand what happens when you purchase when stable coins are purchased, okay? So when you purchase a stable coin, you give money to the stable coin issuer, right? Tether is an example of a stable coin. USDC is an example of a stable coin. This is, they're pegged to the US dollar. They don't go up and down in value. Now, from my understanding, there are some that you can get paid interest on, but you're not actually buying US debt, right? So US treasuries, bonds, foreign countries, they buy this debt, right? And get paid interest on the money. That's essentially why we have the debt, right? China buys them. Just different superpowers buy this debt to lend us money. So essentially what he's saying is the reason why the United States is pushing cryptocurrency so hard is because the Trump administration has come up with a plan to leave the rest of the world holding the bag. Now, let me explain. It says, number 2, the issuer's reserves. The issuer then holds this money in reserve, typically in an ultra-safe asset like U.S. Treasury bills and other cash equivalents. The stablecoin you hold is supposed to be redeemable for a fixed amount of the underlying currency like the U.S. dollar. By purchasing stablecoins, you are indirectly increasing the demand for the issuer's reserves, which are largely U.S. Treasury securities, effectively lending money to the government through the stablecoin issuer. So the average person is not interested in buying treasuries or bonds and stuff like that because, everybody's looking for a crazy return. But they are pushing this cryptocurrency stablecoin, this Genius Act, and saying, hey, this thing is safe. We're passing regulation. Put your money over here, right? Take your money out of the bank, make it digital. You can use it to buy cryptocurrencies or whatever. But essentially, what they are doing is backdooring people. Okay, so the stablecoin issuer is actually buying the debt, but the individual is buying the stablecoin, which most don't know that they're buying the debt. So they're pumping this thing up like, hey, put your money here, put your money here, put your money here. And essentially they're transferring that debt and exchanging those dollars, transferring it from what the United States government owes and giving it to the rest of the world. And then they are in turn getting dollars back and resolving that 35 to 37 trillion dollars in debt. Now, he also mentioned, devaluation, right, of gold and other things, right? So let me kind of show you all. So what we're looking at right now on this chart is the dollar index. Okay. So as you can see right now, since Trump got elected, the value of the dollar is coming down on the world stage, right? So when you see this is when assets start to increase, okay? This is when your real estate starts to go up. This is when the stock market goes crazy. This is when you start to see cryptocurrency go crazy, right? Because everything is weighted in dollars, right? Gold, you start seeing gold going up. Silver, everything is weighted against the dollar because the dollar is the #1 reserve currency. So to put it into perspective for you, this is the gold chart, okay? Okay, right here. See how gold takes off as the dollar in value comes down, okay? And it works in the inverse, right? When the dollar goes up like this, the value of gold comes down. So I can give you another example. So this is June of 2021. If I come over here and I go to June of 2021, right here. Oops, that's January. Right here. So you see gold starts to come down, okay? Now, this is all assets. So essentially what's happening right now is these guys are pumping assets up, which can be sold for more dollars. And then they are transferring the debt from the United States to the rest of the world via stablecoins, which will leave the United States with a clean slate, no debt. What does that do to the value of the currency? It's going to push it up. And then you will start seeing these big players selling off their assets, selling off their real estate, selling off their stocks, selling off their gold at the top, leaving everybody else to hold the bag. So now the value of the dollars will increase because there's no debt. National debt is simply the total accumulation of the government's yearly budget deficits. In other words, it is the net amount a government owes its creditors. If a nation's national debt increases rapidly in the absence of a strategic crisis plan, it will erode the nation's currency value. Okay, but what if they don't have any debt? It increases the value of the dollar. Okay, so essentially what this is a plan for the United States to get rid of their debt. They're just going to leave everybody else holding the bag, and it's some gangster shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's smart. And it's gangster at the same time. The mafia has officially entered the chat. I'm definitely interested in hearing what you all think about it. It's crazy, but it's something that will most likely work. Okay, that's why they're pushing crypto so hard. And for anybody out there, right, from day one, when I started this channel, I told y'all that cryptocurrency was created by the federal government. It is not something that is truly decentralized. All right, it's a way to make money for sure if you understand the game. But this is one of the reasons why I do not marry any cryptocurrency, because this thing was, Satoshi and all that. Okay, like these are really just government agencies, bro. Like, it's not what you think it is. Most people think, oh yeah, it's decentralized and, I don't got to worry about this, worry about that. Okay, these folks can get access to your money if they want to. They can get access to your cold storage wallet. They can get access to you through the exchange. There's a guy, let me see, World Liberty Financial. So this guy right here, all right, 2.9 billion frozen. Trump crypto ally Justin Sun's tokens linked to suspicious exchange activity. They froze his entire crypto wallet. Think about that, right? This guy is somebody that's backing, that they are apparently acquainted with, but because they thought he was doing something weird, they didn't just freeze his tokens, they froze his wallet. How are they able to do that? If this thing is supposed to be decentralized, you're your own bank, et cetera, they froze his wallet. Okay, so you got to be smart here. Okay, cryptocurrency is not what you think. All in all, here's what I think. Here's my total breakdown, the afterthought, the final thought. They're going to crash everything and have everybody holding the bag. I said in previous videos that just like the .com bubble burst, we're going to have a day of reckoning where cryptocurrency goes through that and the majority of cryptocurrencies will be wiped out. You'll have, of course, your Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe XRP, Solana. like the top 10 will probably most likely be the only ones left standing, or the ones that have actual real world utility. Everything else is going to get wiped out. It's going to go to zero. Okay. The same, we're going to see something similar in the stock market. We're going to see something probably similar in real estate, because they're right now they're pumping up assets. So that way, once the debt is gone, they can transfer and sell those assets and get back into dollars, because the value of the dollar will increase against everything. Do your research. Listen to what the guy was saying. You know, he goes into more in depth. I'll put the link in the description. But if you watch it, this is what they're going to do. Okay, if you listen to what he says, and then you actually read and understand what they're doing with the stable coins, and seeing how they're pushing it so hard through the media, you'll kind of start to get an idea of, okay, yeah, this is actually the plan. And it's pretty fucking smart, because most people are too married to, you know, they see how cryptocurrency has become a cult. And it's like, all right, there's enough people in putting their money into this market where we can just leave them holding the bag and they won't even know it. But again, shout out to all my crypto goons. I appreciate you all pulling up. I hope y'all get the message. Crypto goon out.